Good morning, students. Today I am going to revise chapter number 4, 5, and 6 from geography. And chapter number 4 is agriculture, chapter number 5 is industries, and chapter number 6 is human resources. So, students, for the preparation of annual examination, you have to prepare and learn all these three chapters with all the keywords, important points, and question answer which are given in this book. Okay, so students, in chapter number 4, agriculture, first of all you have to learn the definition of agriculture. And the word agriculture is derived from Latin word like ager or agri, meaning is soil, and culture meaning is cultivation or tilling of soil. In this topic, you have to prepare about the primary and secondary activities. Primary activities include all those which are connected with extraction and production of natural resources like agriculture, fishing, and gathering. And in secondary activities, which is concerned with the processing of these resources like manufacturing of steel, baking of bread, and weaving of cloth. So my dear students, you know very well that agriculture is a primary activity in India and also in all over the world. Near about 50% world population engaged in agriculture activity, and 2/3 of India's population is still dependent on agriculture. And you know very well that for agriculture activity, a favorable topography of soil and climate are very important. And you know very well that different types of crops are grown in different geographical condition. And students, you have to prepare and learn about the definition of agriculture, sericulture, pisciculture, viticulture, and horticulture. And after that, next topic is given farm system. So students, whatever activities done by the people or carry by the people, all these activities are concerned with the step-by-step system. So in farm system, first of all, farmers has required important inputs and seeds, fertilizers, machinery, labor, and also some important operations like plowing, sowing, irrigation, weeding, and harvesting. Okay, and in this chapter you have to learn about the organic farming. After that, types of farming. So students, on the basis of geographical condition, demand and produce, and also labor and level of technology, farming can be classified into two main types. Number one is subsistence farming and number two is commercial farming. And in subsistence farming, which is a kind of farming practiced to meet the needs of the farmer's family, in which traditionally low level of technology and household labor are used to produce on a small output. And intensive subsistence agriculture, which is the subcategory of subsistence farming, and primitive subsistence agriculture like shifting cultivation and nomadic herding. You have to learn the definition of all these three sub classification of subsistence farming. And after that, commercial farming are those type of farming in which crops are grown and animals are reared for sale in market, and the area cultivated and the amount of capital used is large. All right, So commercial farming include commercial grain farming, mixed farming, and plantation agriculture. So my dear students, you have to learn the definition of commercial farming, commercial grain farming, and mixed farming. All right. After that, next topic is plantation. So students, plantations are a type of commercial farming where single crop of tea, coffee, sugarcane, cashew, rubber, banana, or cotton are grown. And in this kind of plantation system, a large amount of labor and capital are required. All right. So my dear students, after that, major crops are given in your book, which are rice, wheat, millets, maize, cotton, jute, coffee, tea. So students, you have to learn the climatic conditions, whatever required for the growth of all these crops. And in this geographical condition, you have to learn about the required soil, temperature, sunshine, and water, rainfall, and region where these crops are grown. All right. After that, your next topic is agriculture development, in which 2 points is given, like a farm in India and a farm in the USA. So my dear students, you know very well that still in many parts of India, farmers and common people busy in agriculture activity with the help of their family members and using old technology and old tools. But nowadays, due to the effort of government and many policies which are started by government, especially for the farmers and for the improvement of farmers' conditions, now India is also able to increase agriculture activity and other activities which are very helpful for the farmers. And you know very well that a farm system in the USA, where a big plot of land is cultivated by the farmer, and there farmers work as a businessman, and they are using all the modern technology, tools and machinery for the take care of field, and also for the check out of the quality and capacity of soil to grow different type of crops. So students, you have to learn this also. And in exercise, you have to learn all the question answer, give reasons, and distinguish between the followings. And students, you have to learn tick the correct answer also may be possible. On the basis of tick the correct answer, 1 marks question will come. Okay. After that, your next chapter is industries. So students, as I told you that manufacturization or conversion of raw material into the finished item is a secondary activity. And the definition of industry is: industry refers to an economic activity that is concerned with production of goods, extraction of minerals, or the provision of services. Okay. After that, your next topic is given, classification of industries. Number 1 classification is raw material, and in which you have to learn the definition of raw material, agro-based industries, mineral-based industries, marine-based industries, forest-based industries. And next classification is on the basis of size. So you have to learn the definition of small scale industry and large scale industry. After that, classification of industries on the basis of ownership, in which you have to learn the definition of private sector industries, joint sector industries, and cooperative sector. Understood? After that, your next topic is factors affecting location of industries. So students, in this topic you have to learn and prepare about the requirement of the industry, which are raw material, labor, capital, market, power or electricity, land and transportation system for the development of any industry. All right. And after that, your next topic is industrial system. So, my dear students, an industrial system consists of inputs, processes and outputs. For example, the inputs are the raw materials, labor and cost of land, transport, power and other infrastructure. After that, next topic is industrial region. So my dear students, you have to learn all the industrial regions of the world and also very important industrial region of India. And you have to prepare and practice word map for the labeling of these word and Indian industrial region. Okay? After that, your next topic is industrial disaster. So, my dear students, the definition of industrial disaster is sometime accident or any kind of disaster mainly occur due to the technical failure or irresponsible handling of hazardous material. So, my dear students, two examples of industrial disaster is given in your book. Number one is related to Bhopal gas tragedy and number two is related to the Gao Kiao Chongqing, China. You have to learn it and you have to also learn risk reduction measures, which is very important. You have to prepare and learn the definition of smelting, emerging industries or sunrise industries. After that, you have to learn about the distribution of major industries of the world. And in India, you have to learn all the important point related to iron and steel industry, which is opened by the Tata before 1947 and located in Jamshedpur, which is famous as Tesco. All right. And after this, you have to learn about the iron and steel industry of Pittsburgh and cotton textile industry of India and Ahmedabad and Osaka. And information technology like IT industry. And students, you know very well that nowadays information technology industry deals in the storage, processing and distribution of information. And these information technology or IT industries are located in many parts of the world, but two IT industry is very famous. Number one is Silicon Plateau, which is located in Bangalore, and Silicon Valley, which is located in Santa Clara Valley, next to the Rocky Mountains of North America. All right. And students, you have to learn about the very good locational advantages for the settlement of these two industries of Bangalore and North America. All right, you have to question and answer and distinguish between following, and also you have to prepare take the correct answer as a 1 marks question. All right, after that, finally, your last topic of this book is human resources. So first of all, you have to learn about the definition of human resource. So students, you know very well that people are nation's greatest resource, and nature's bounty become significant only when people find it useful. And it is people with their demand and ability that turn them into resource. And human resource is the very important resource among all the resource, because only human have a capacity to change anything into most important products. All right, and after that, do you know you have to prepare about the government of India has a Ministry of Human Resource Development, and the ministry was created in 1985. All right, and next topic is distribution of population, in which you have to learn about the pattern of population distribution. So my dear students, as I told you in my previous explanation, that on the basis of climatic condition, people prefer to live like very cold and very hot areas of the world are very less habited, and those where the temperature is moderate and normal, and all the facilities for the survival are available, people prefer to live. And on the basis of that, 60% of the world's people stay in just 10 countries. Number 1 is China, India, USA, Indonesia, Brazil, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Russia, Nigeria, and Japan are 10 countries. Okay. After that, your next topic is density of population. So population density is the number of people living in a 1 square kilometer or living in a unit area of the earth surface. You have to learn this. And after that, factors affecting distribution of population. So my dear students, as I told you above that, people prefer to live on those places where all the geographical, social, culture and economic factors are available. Geographical factor like topography, it means plain area, and suitable climatic condition, fertile soil, availability of water, and the mining areas people prefer to live for the earning also, and availability of oil also. And social, culture and economic factor for the better housing, education and health. And in cultural, some people are preferred to live like Varanasi, Jerusalem and Vatican City, which are the example of cultural area and religious area. And economic factor is industrial areas of the world and India. People prefer to live there only for the availability of job, etc. And after that, you have to learn about the life expectancy rate. And students, it is the number of years that an average person can expect to live. And after that, next topic is population change. In this topic, you have to learn about the definition of birth rate, death rate, migration, natural growth rate. Okay. And after that, next topic is pattern of population change. So my dear students, as I told you in my previous explanation that rates of population growth vary across the world, but the world total population is rising rapidly, and not all countries are experiencing this growth. Some countries like Kenya have high population growth rate, and they had both high birth rate and death rate. And nowadays, with improving healthcare, death rates have fallen, but birth rates still remain high. And in other countries or developed countries like United Kingdom, population growth is slow, where birth rate and death rate both are slow. And after that, your next topic is population composition. So students, for the understanding of population composition, we have to understand the role of people as a resource. For example, people vary greatly in their age, gender, literacy level, health condition, occupation, and income level. And it is essential to understand these characteristics of the people. So population composition refer to structure of the population. All right. And after that, in this topic, you have to understand that population composition help us to know how many males and females, and how many educated, uneducated, how many implied and unemployed, and healthy or not healthy, etc. We can conclude and check out the capacity of the people. So this is called or known as population composition. And after that, last topic is population pyramid. So my dear students, as I told you in my previous explanation, that on the basis of population pyramid, we can show the age of male and female, or girl and boys in one country, and we can also differentiate the total number of child who born in the particular year, and we can differentiate between the total number of girl and boys, and also we can differentiate the total population of a particular country. Like we can compare, we can write one side India and one side Japan, and we can compare the total number of children born in a particular year, and after that total number of young population in a particular year, and aged people or their total number in particular year. So students, on the basis of population pyramid, we can show all the things, and the shape of the population pyramid tells the story of the people living in that particular country. Like the number of children below 15 years are shown at the bottom and reflect the level of birth, and the size of the top shows the number of aged people above 65 years and reflects the number of deaths. Okay, so my dear students, in this chapter also you have to learn question and answers, and all the important points. And students, you have to prepare word map for the labeling and showing of word distribution of arable land, which is given on page number 41. And after that you have to prepare page number 53, in which word industrial regions given. And after that page number 56, you have to prepare about the major iron producing areas of the world. And page number 59, you have to prepare major cotton textile manufacturing region of the world. And After that, in last chapter, map is given on page number 71, in which you have to prepare different rates of population growth around the world. So students, you have to prepare all the map which are given in chapter number 4, 5 and 6. So my dear students, learn all these points, and anywhere if you have any doubt and confusion, then contact to me. All right. Thank you and have a nice day.